And now I give the floor to anybody who in English or Spanish would like to address the panel.
We have a few minutes because there is another panel after us here.
7 minutes, yes.
May I ask a question? In 1959, what percent of Cubanos you think still favored the Batista regime? And what percentage thought about Fidel between his trip from Santa Clara to Havana in triumph? What percentage, had a feeling that this man couldn't be trusted?
I'll take a stab at that. I think that there's a difference of what percentage was in favor of against Batista and what percentage was in favor of Castro. I think a great percentage of the Cuban people were against Batista. It's very hard to put percentages. There weren't the Gallup polls in Havana about that at that time. I think that when the revolution began in January of 1959, a great majority of the Cuban people supported it in one way or the other, hoped that it would be successful. But I can't put any percentages, and I don't know if anybody has anything else to say.
Hi, is the book in Spanish and in English, or?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's outside.
And why
You
did
can
you
have it.
choose to launch it here?
Pardon?
Why did you choose to launch it here?
At the fair? Well,
Is there a better place?
we have a high respect for this fair. I think it's one of the major, if not the major event in terms of book fairs in the United States. And it's also, now that Hispanics are in the top charts of the hit parade, it's also a Hispanic story.
I have another question. Do you have a website
For
continually grow this book? It's necessary.
Yeah.
Because right now it's very easy to send information and get people interested, and to also continue to add the real story. There's a lot of things like Elian Gonzalez, for instance. There's a little piece of story that I have that I'd like to share. Little by little, I think the website I would support.
there is actually one website that I personally constructed, but I haven't had the time to develop. But that is exactly the kind of that's your idea. It's Historia y Política.
I have a son in Seattle, for instance. He did a master for business. He doesn't like money, so now he wants to be a scientist. And every time I find a little gossip or something on the net, I send it to him, and I don't know where he goes to, but he goes to places that he brings the true story. And your page should be there to go to find the true story.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good morning. I want to commend all those that were responsible for bringing out this book. I think it's a very important piece of work because it brings to light one of the very essences of a totalitarian regime. Image is vital. Often one asks themselves, well, what is it about totalitarian regimes that allows them to stay in power for so long? Image is one of the important aspects of that. And for an image to be effective, character assassination, both on an individual level and a collective level, is vital. Very important points were touched, and then I'll ask a question. The fact of reconstructing history, of putting mythology in the place of history. This is very, very seminal that this work begun in Cuba, post-Cuba, democratic Cuba, is to achieve a level of being functional and long-lasting. There must be not just a moral hearing of the communist past, but a revisitation of Cuban history, because in order for the current regime to maintain in power, and in order to it to have the image that it unfortunately has in many parts of the democratic world, it's important that Cuba's past be retold in its accurate condition. On an individual level, the fact of mechanisms like Wikipedia and a lot of the other social media where anyone can go in, we are competing with a regime that has tremendous assets, unlimited assets, to dispose to destroying characters, because that is, it's not about marketing a product, it is about staying in power. And this has to be addressed in that fashion. The problem that I see, and perhaps any of you can answer that, is legally, we live in a free society, and for example, if someone, a US citizen, says something that is defamatory, well, we have access to the courts. However, on an international level, a government like the Castro government, which writes these pieces by way of front organizations, by way of individuals that collaborate, that aren't official members of the government, makes it very difficult for proper legal action to take place. Are there any suggestions that you would have regarding that legal aspect?
Bueno, mi experiencia es con Wikipedia. Es una batalla terrible porque ponen lo que quieren, es muy difícil además entrar en contacto con los organizadores de Wikipedia. Yo lo he hecho, pero es una batalla horrorosa y tener un tiempo tremendo. Y durante 3 días es posible que eliminen una barbaridad o una mentira, pero luego lo vuelven a poner. Sí. O ponen muchas cosas y no hay manera de controlarlo. Y no hay forma tampoco de entrar en el juego de las demandas, porque demandas, aquí vas a demandar en Wikipedia, sí, entonces es tremendo. Y además de eso, al final, lo que hace es alimentar a los abogados. Tampoco es una buena idea. Defenderse en Internet es tan complicado que han surgido una serie de empresas dedicadas a eso, al reputation management, que ya es el colmo, sí, donde uno tiene que pagar para que eliminen que uno pues no es un asesino, que realmente uno no se dedica al tráfico de drogas, que hace muchos años que no mata a ningún niño, cosas de esas. Es tan complicado que yo lo que creo que, por lo menos en los periódicos serios y en las fuentes serias, lo primero que le dicen a los periodistas es: ustedes no pueden tomar en serio Wikipedia. No pueden de ninguna manera porque es una fuente abierta, la cual dice lo que le da la gana. Dicho esto, el 90% de la gente empieza por citar a Wikipedia. Sí, claro. Lo que quiere decir que es lo más fácil porque es lo primero que salta en Internet. Yo creo que es una batalla casi perdida cuando desaparezca, cuando desaparezca el régimen, pues desaparecerá esa campaña, y con esto terminamos.
Bueno, quiero agradecer una vez más al doctor Montoya, al Provost, su participación y presencia con nosotros, a todos ustedes por haber venido, a pesar de que éramos el primer turno.
And the authors are going to be outside signing the book for those of you who have an interest. I need to still collect a few of my own signatures here. Thank you.